I'm Matt. With me, as always, is Lauren. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about a special Valentine's Day movie. Nothing that says, give me your love, give me your heart, quite like My Bloody Valentine from 2009. Now, if this is your first time joining us, we go into typically what we've been reading or watching first, and then we go into some news and then our main topic. However, today, we are just going to dive straight into this movie breakdown and give you a little brief overview of things because we're recording ahead of time. And so, unfortunately, we're not as up to date as we should be, but you should find us at Megacon this coming weekend, where we are going to have 2 panels. We are going to be doing a fun little get together at Half Barrel Beer Project. So find us on social media, hopsgeeknews everywhere. I am drinking though. It's called Bitter Valentine. It's a double IPA from Aleworks in Williamsburg, Virginia, coming in 8.3%. I figured it was a good little Valentine beer. That's what I have. Lauren, welcome. I made you watch this movie. I'm sorry, but not really.
I have water because I'm not still hungover a week later. It's just we're recording 2 episodes back to back. So if last week you were like, Jesus, she's hungover again. No, it's the same day.
No, she's got to. Don't worry, we're resting because I'm coming to Florida this week. When you're listening to this, it's 2 weeks from this weekend. But anyways. Yes, it's gonna be fun. Megacon is on the horizon. I'm really excited. Why don't you go ahead and? Oh, go ahead.
Did watch this a few years ago, and I watched it while listening to a commentary. I think it was Four Nerds by Nerds did a movie commentary on it. It was on podcast that we've had on before, and yeah, it's I forgot how bad it is. It's really bad.
It's I can't say that it's great. I remember watching it. It did come out in, God, it was 2009 when it came out, and I remember watching it. I think around that time frame. I didn't see it in theaters, that's for sure, but I do remember watching it around that time. I don't remember anything about it, but yeah, this movie, we're going to dive into it. So spoilers ahead. If you've never watched it, don't worry. You're not really missing a whole lot. We'll go over the cast and some deep dives into it. So let's kick it off with My Bloody Valentine. Now it came out, it's a remake. Fun fact, I believe the original came out in 1971. 81. However, this one, 81, my bad. This one is 2009.
Is it just me now? What just happened? So My Bloody Valentine 3D is a 2009 American 3D slasher film. What's going on? Oh, your Google just crashed. Fun times. Ugh. Damn, that sucks. Okay. All right, I guess I should exit out of this. Oh shit. Oh, it's still up. It's still recording.
Cool.
There you are.
Awesome. That was great.
It's still like recording.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll be editing. I'm just going to
start over.
Just going to start from the top. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and typically we feature a beer of the week. I'm Matt. With me alongside is Lauren, as always. Now, normally we go into what we've been reading or watching, some news, and then our main topic. However, we're double recording today. A lot of busy things going on in our lives right now. And then also I'm getting ready to come to Megacon. So we are doing back-to-back recording, and today's episode is My Bloody Valentine from 2009. We are getting in the Valentine's Day spirit, which neither of us care about. So we decided to go with a really low quality film.
Starring a really high quality actor.
Starring Jensen Ackles, which 2009 is interesting, and I'll get into that here in a little while. But first things first, my beer is Bitter Valentine. It comes from Aleworks Brewing in Williamsburg, Virginia. It is a double IPA. Lauren is hungover. Don't worry, we're recording back to back. She's not hungover 2 weeks in a row. If you listen to our last week's episode, she just happens still double back-to-back recording. You can find us, Hopsgeek News, any social media website, any platform, podcasting, you name it, our name's there. Nerdinitiative.com is where you can find our reviews and other things that we're doing out there. Please go ahead. And if you want to support the show, patreon.com/hopsgeeknews. We are getting ready to go to Megacon this week. We have 2 panels. We have a horror-based panel about actors and actresses who got their start in horror movies. That kicks off Friday morning at 11:30 a.m. and then Sunday at 3:30 p.m., Super Bowl Sunday. Before we go and watch the big game, we have our Supernatural panel. It's basically our favorite and underrated moments, characters, things of that nature from the Supernatural series. Now that I have finished it, we can fully talk about it. Spoilers ahoy. And it's after the Supernatural cast panel, which is at 12:15. So no scheduling conflicts there. Megacon's going to be great. Catch us Saturday. Half Barrel Beer Project is where we're going to be hanging out. Come out, hang out with us, have a good time. But Lauren, let's dive into this movie. It's interesting. Now, My Bloody Valentine. It's a 2009 American 3D slasher film. It was actually directed and co-edited by Patrick Lussier and written by Todd Farmer and Zane Smith. It's a remake of the 1981 Canadian film with the same name. It stars Jensen Ackles, Jamie King, Kerr Smith, and Kevin Teige, with Eddie Gathegi and Tom Atkins in supporting roles. The film focuses on the residents of a small town that is plagued by a serial killer in a mining gear on Valentine's Day, who is believed to have been the same murderer who was thought to have died a decade prior. Yes,
Dun, dun,
this
dun.
movie was made for $14 million in budget, and the box office actually was $100.7 million. So for a horror movie, good for you, I guess. It did pretty well. After filming on location in Pennsylvania, the film was given a 3D theatrical release. It was the very first R-rated film to be projected in Real D technology and to have a wide release in 3D enabled theaters. I never saw this movie in theaters.
The 3D shit is over. I'm so glad it's over.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, what are your because this movie, it's comically bad how they lean into the 3D aspect.
But they were doing that then. Like Harold and Kumar did it properly though, because it was a comedy. But it was like I didn't know it was 3D, and then I was like, that intro was very 3D-esque. I'm gonna guess this was 3D originally, and then they the one guy's eye pops out, and we're like, that was.
Oh my god! When he gets stabbed in the eye, it goes boom right at you. Oh, yeah. It's so bad. How it's almost like breaking the fourth wall. Bad. Of they want you to know this movie's 3D, man. Yeah, you have to know it's 3D. Did you see the way that axe and glass flew? 3D. And I remember this was a time they were preaching that 3D was the future of television and movies. They had 3D TVs come out. Yeah,
and they came with. You couldn't watch for more than 45 minutes though, or it was
no. They came with the glasses even. You got the glasses for these awful 3D televisions. And as somebody who's worn glasses, 3D technology never thought about those of us who are blind, because I hate wearing glasses over my glasses. It gave me headaches. You give me headaches. And I hate 3D movies.
I have no issue with 3D movies and making something 3D, but when you cater to it, it's just ridiculous.
It's very campy.
I don't even when you do the 4D, I prefer it not be 3D with the 4D. If that makes sense.
No, I like 4D movies because 4D you're moving around, it's immersive. But if you throw in that 3D element to it, it's headaches and your stomach hurts and bleh. Anyways, enough about that. Why don't you take us into the recap?
So yes, this is the recap of the 2009 one because we are getting ready for all our Supernatural fun at Megacon. Yes. So I have not seen the 1981 one, and I probably never will. So recap. Long time. There are deaths in the mine, accident or murder. Cut to a hospital full of bloody body parts and an actual heart and a box of Valentine chocolate. So festive. Happy fucking Valentine's Day. That's literally a quote from that scene. The murderer woke up from a coma and went straight back to murder. And there's a party at the mine. And now Tom, who's Jensen, looks very nervous because last time he was there, the accident happened. But oh no, the murderer is there in a miner's outfit. The 3 people escape and leave Tom with the murderer. They leave. I
love how they legit just stare at him while he's about to get beaten and murdered. Nobody helps him. They're just like, oh no. He comes into the mine to help them, and they're just staring at him while they're hopping in the truck. And he's just, what the hell, guys?
Yeah.
And he throws the axe. And I also love how the 3D version of the axe comes through the glass right close to her eye. And you're just like, oh, brother. Oh, God.
Well, fortunately, the cops show up in the nick of time, and they shoot the murderer, but his body was never found, or so we believe at the time.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm interrupting, but for good reason. I love how you clearly see this dude get up and run away,
After he's been shot
and
multiple times.
everybody's like, he died. Even though we watched him get shot a bunch of times and run off, he even, it's just funny how that works out. He had the mind part collapse on him and he's running off. And also, how is he so strong in that hospital that he's ripping open chest cavities without a pickaxe? What was he using as well? And why is he drawing hearts? You got into coma from a mine accident. Why are you obsessed with hearts, sir?
Well, that's what they were saying. It wasn't an accident because they were trying to blame it on Tom.
They were,
And saying
yes.
like, "Oh, you didn't bleed the line." He's like, "It wasn't an accident. He murdered everybody." But yeah, so then we jump a decade later, and the guy who drove off to leave Tom is now married to Tom's old girlfriend. And he's also sleeping with a random girl in a nasty abandoned house, which is actually his house.
Okay.
And
They're
surprise, the
passing
mistress is
STDs in
pregnant.
that house, dude.
I know, gross. So Tom's been gone for the last 10 years, but he did inherit the mine and he wants to sell it, and the town is very angry at him.
You're
Then we
ruining this
see
town, boy.
a naked lady throw a gun at a dick, and then he's murdered by the murderer. The murderer's back.
Okay,
Then
I
he
love
kills the
that.
naked girl who was actually one of the people who left Tom at the murder site. So Tom then goes back to the mines to talk to Ben. And he says he wasn't selling the mines. He changed his mind, but he ends up getting locked in a cage by the murderer while we
Oh
touch someone
no.
else and leaves. Shocking info. We learned the warden murderer was killed by some locals and it was all covered up. So this guy was dead. They did go back and make sure they finished the job even after he ran off. But they covered it up. But then they go to find the body and the grave is empty.
It's been 10
Oh,
years. What'd
no.
you expect?
But then they keep pointing the fingers at poor Tommy. Tom goes back into the mine alone and he's popping pills. That's a very important thing. He is popping pills.
It
Then we
is.
see Ben, who killed warden murderer dude, and he gets murdered by the
He has
minor
the
killer.
okay, he kind of has, is this the one where it goes through his jaw and he rips his jaw off? Because that might be my favorite kill in this movie.
Oh, the jaw one was gross.
I thought it was awesome
No,
how
I
they did.
think this
Oh,
one was
Ben
the
is
one
the
where he
other one. Yeah, Ben was
sticks
the first one. Yeah.
on the crowbar or
That
on
was
the
cool.
minor
His
axe.
last words were shit and he just steps on
Yeah.
his. Yeah, that was fun. Okay, yes.
Yeah, his last words were shit. Okay, so then the minor murderer attacks the girls at the grocery store. The mistress is done for, and then he goes to kill like the nanny slash maid. So this girl, like, they must own this grocery store because she's
I think
working
they
as a
do, yeah.
cashier at a
No, her
grocery
parents,
store.
remember? You're still working at your parents' store? That's what he mentions when he goes
So
back
she's
originally.
working at a grocery store, but she can afford a nanny and maid.
Listen, to be honest, that whole town, there's not much going for it, I guess. So it's not like it could be that expensive. I don't know.
I
She
thought
owns part
that
of it.
was
Like her
odd.
parents own the grocery
But,
store.
like, how
So
much money is she making at the end of the day after paying this nanny slash
also
dude?
their kid is weird. He doesn't speak a
He's
single
so
word.
weird. I
He's
bet he
just
was like
blank
a
faced.
nepotism hire.
He's a product from that shitty, gross house that he's cheating on her with.
So then Tom goes to the hospital and he actually picks up the old girlfriend who is now married to the sheriff, who's Kerr Smith, and tells her that her husband is the killer. He says it's Axel. It's
Sarah.
Axel, but Axel says it's Tom, and Tom says it's Axel. Who could it be? So Tom's like, I'm going to take you to Axel's dad's cabin and you're going to see. And that's where they were committing adultery. And that's where
Gross.
she finds a whole bunch of Valentines and the minor killer who tries to get her. Now she thinks it's Axel. This poor woman. But guess what?
Surprise.
It's Tom. What?
Oh
But
my
it's like his
gosh.
other personality. They fight. Tom explodes, but he's still alive. Then he murders. He pulled a Dean Winchester here.
He did.
He murdered the rescuer and took his outfit, which they do in Supernatural, but he doesn't murder them. Such a
Oh.
Winchester move. And that's what I got. And then you see him walk off. And
He's like hobbling off and then he takes it off. He's all shaking and stuff. It's how does nobody kind of, hey man, you all right? As he's holding his arms really close, clearly not doing well, shaking everything off. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre. So I also love the scene where Sarah's basically trying to decide who to shoot, and Axel goes to shoot us both. At that point, I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? He's so done with her and Tom and
Well, I think
everybody
he's
in this.
also trying to save, like, I want the mother of my child to survive. And so he's
That
like,
too,
just shoot us
but
both because, if you just shoot me, you're going to be here with a murderer. So I felt like it was kind of like a split the baby kind of thing, where
I
it's like you
agree, but it
find
was
out
fun.
who Yeah, but it's like, you find out who really actually cares. Like, he cares
Yeah.
about her. He's not trying to save his own hide at this point, he's trying to save her. So that was probably the most noble thing he did in the whole movie, because outside of that, he
He
was a
was
friggin' dickhead.
Everybody basically sucks in this movie, and I thought it was pretty funny going back to when the one girl is having that weird, outrageous sex scene, and the guy just casually picks up the video camera. He's like, "What?" And she's running after him all naked and stuff. It's girl, have some dignity, I guess. I don't know, but he's clearly cheating on his wife, anyways. He's a trucker making videos, and there was some good kills. But let's go into some production notes real quick before we go into our thoughts. Now, the film was shot in southwestern Pennsylvania. It's taking advantage of the state taxes incentives for film productions, as well as the topographical,
I was like,
and
"What?"
architectural versatility of the Pittsburgh metro area. Yeah,
Say that 5 times
very
fast.
Pittsburgh. They loved that one shot of that green
Architectural
bridge.
versatility.
They
Oh, that
really
green
loved that
bridge was
bridge.
in something else too, but I don't remember what now.
Probably. Now, the filming began on May 11th, 2008 in Armstrong County along the Route 28 corridor in locations including Sprinkles Market in Kidding, the Ford City Police Station, and the exterior of the Logansport Mine in Bethel. Kittanning, served as a main street in the film's fictional town of Harmony. The production spent 13 days filming scenes in the Tor Ed mines in the Pittsburgh suburb of Tarentum, a mine that has been out of production since the 60s, and it now operates as a museum. The inside of
Interesting.
Valiant's Diner in Ross Township was used as a location for one scene, and a house on Halton Road in Oakmont, a suburb of Pittsburgh, was also used as a location. The scenes at the Thunderbird Motel were shot at the Four Pit Motel in Oakdale, PA. On its 4-day opening weekend, the film grossed $24.1 million. It ranked it in third, behind
Wow.
Gran Torino, the very racist Clint Eastwood movie, and none other than Paul Blart Mall Cop, which was number one. And I will forever be linked to that movie because it was filmed at the mall by my house. And Kevin James is the biggest asshole on earth, but that's neither here nor there. It's the second weekend. The movie grossed 10 million, ranking number 6. It grossed 51 million in the US and Canada, 49 million in other markets. So that's kind of where we leave off with there. Yeah, 2009. Like I said, it was
Oh,
a big movie. What?
I noticed Darwin too. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So going into some thoughts and then we'll go into some fun facts. Now, the other sheriff is actually Darwin from X-Men First Class, believe it or not. And Darwin got a very unfortunate shake. In X-Men First Class, I think it was bullcrap how he died there, but he doesn't do anything in
Bad.
this movie. That guy is useless in this movie. Darwin is just kind of there.
I feel like everyone's useless in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's, it's such a coal mining town. As somebody who's been to those areas, I can just like smell. Ugh. And coal mining is awful anyways. And the fact, okay, we didn't even talk about the fact that this movie, basically a week after the mining accident, there's teenagers partying in these mines. Who just
I know.
parties in mines? Who does
I
that?
I don't know. Burrell was asking the same question. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I guess it's like the equivalent of partying in the woods or something.
Yeah, only they're in a mine, and then this hulking beast of a man just runs through and kills everybody. But you clearly can't see anything out of that mining mass because he walks by the three of them who are barely out of sight. And
Yeah.
it's while he's killing homeboy who's like made himself known, I'm out of there, man. Like I'm so gone, I'm so out. And then they just ditch Jensen, and it's like I would come back and kill your asses too. You guys left me for dead, although he didn't realize he was doing it, but they left his ass for dead. My
They
girlfriend,
did.
who called me the love of her life, she left me to get murdered by this man in this dusty ass mine. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
it was I felt like Curtis Smith, and Tom even says it. He's like, "Oh, he always had a thing for you." And like now they're
He
like
did.
married, and like
Married
what
and
if
have
later like,
kids.
wow, you literally left him to die so you could have his
You
girlfriend. That's how I saw it.
that honestly, that was on, yeah, the real man. And he's getting mad. I love the projection from this guy. He's so mad. You're still in love with him. You're still my brother in Christ. You're banging like a teenage stalker from the grocery store that your girl, wife, whatever owns. Sir, the projection. And then to be like, oh, you can divorce me if you want. Listen, we're going to have some adult conversations once I'm done almost being murdered by this guy because you're not out the woods yet. Honestly, I should have let, what was going through my mind while she's standing there with the gun and we're like, where is Sarah? Why is she not? She's just standing there with the gun watching these two fight when she has clear shots at Tom. She was probably like, you should probably kill Axel on account he was cheating on me. And then I can get out of this. Like, there's no divorce. I can just, hey, man, sorry, son, your dad died. Tough luck. And I don't have to deal with that shit ever again. That's why she
I
was
don't
probably
know
sitting
why
around
they
forever.
well, and then she's like, I knew, of course I knew. They always do that in movies too, like, I knew he was cheating. So why the fuck didn't you say anything before? You were just,
She
like,
was
okay
cool
with
with
it?
it,
Or,
yeah.
like that's like, if I found out Josh was cheating, I wouldn't just pretend I didn't know. I'd be like, "What
You're
the
just waiting to
fuck?"
get into a three-way murder situation with Jensen Ackles.
Like, oh, I mean, whew, if that was an option, I would.
Josh, I always knew, but I didn't say anything because now Jensen's here and he's kind of a murderer. I don't know really what's going on, but I feel like I could fix him. Okay, I can fix him.
He's still so pretty. Still
It's
so pretty.
just so absurd. So
Well,
absurd.
and why did they make the mistress pregnant? That wasn't relevant to anything
Oh,
else
yeah. That's
whatsoever.
right.
Like, I felt like they didn't need to have her knocked up, and, like, she tells him, like, he's gonna be excited. I'm like, "This is your he's married. What are you doing?" Like, she has a smile on her face, like, "Oh, now you can leave your wife and come with me." Well, no,
Yeah, what
now
did
he's
she
just
think
having
was
a
gonna
child
happen?
on
"Hey, I'm pregnant. You should be happy." No, I'm not. So
So at the end, when I'm just looking at my notes, and this made me laugh all over again. The end when he looks like Jensen explodes, Brielle goes like mother like son because Mary caught on fire.
yeah, like it was oh god. That whole sequence, not a single burn mark from being close to that explosion at all, which was also hilarious. And she barely grazed him by the time it went through. It went through in such an inconsequential way. It,
Yeah.
but then it never pays off. So it's kind of
Whew.
my thoughts. Don't be naked, you know. Uh
Naked people don't
2009
survive
though,
movies.
big movie. Jared is out here actually in a good horror film, Friday the 13th, with Daniel Panabaker, while poor Jensen is whatever this movie is.
It was, I feel like it really is a testament to his acting though, because this was not Dean Winchester in any way, shape, or form. He was dressed like Dean Winchester, and he obviously looked like Dean Winchester. But it's so interesting because his voice is so soft. It's not deep like he's when he's Soldier Boy or when he's Dean. And like he just always looks scared in every scene, other than when he, for that split second, we see him go evil. He's always just looks terrified. And like you never see Dean looking terrified like that ever. I think that you see him look the most terrified when he thinks Cass is knocking on the door in the second to last episode, and it's Lucifer. That's probably the funniest Dean terrified look ever. But he really never looks scared. And in this, he was scared like the whole time. But there are a
Yeah.
couple. Well, and this was very similar to Silent Night, Deadly Night, to where he
Oh,
was
yeah. Good point. I
like
was thinking that too.
witnessed a murder, and then he ends up becoming that murderer, basically.
But
Uh,
he didn't really have a chance though. I mean, to be fair, he was in a mental hospital and clearly what were they paying for because it didn't help him whatsoever.
no, and he had PTSD obviously from the
Yeah.
original murders.
Everybody's mad he just upped and left. Dude, you guys left me to die. Yeah. I'm leaving that
Yeah.
town too, man. Sorry.
So it was kind of cool though, the scene where you suddenly now realize it's him, and so he's
Oh yeah.
dressed in normal clothes, and they hit the lights with the thing, and
Oh,
it
there was the quick
switches
flash.
to the miner.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was pretty cool. But you know what? You could tell at the end, because since I knew the killer was Jensen because I've seen this before. So I kept trying to see him walking, and they never really show you him walking far away until the end, right before we find out it's him, and you can see his bow legs. And I
Oh,
felt
that's a
like
good point.
that's
I wasn't paying attention. I
well, I was
forgot he
looking
was the
for it,
killer. That makes sense. That
but
makes a
I'm
lot of sense.
sure they don't always put the actor in the killer costume though.
Yeah, I was
So
curious about that too. I was wondering how often he was actually in that suit as the killer as well. I mean,
right. I
for
do
Jensen in
think it was that
2009, he
end.
might have been a good amount. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, obviously, he's used to doing stunts and everything,
Yeah.
um, but he had no confidence either. Like, Dean has, like, too much confidence, and he just had no confidence at all. It was funny, though, but he looks taller than he usually does because he's not next to Jared.
That's also true. Yeah, Jared wasn't around and everybody else was short, so he does look a lot taller. And it's also interesting looking like this, right? And then seeing where he's at now, where he's done voice acting for Batman and he's also done The Boys and how far he's come, I think, in acting as well. Because it's 2009, right? Supernatural was big and he
You know,
still
when
has
they
that
started
CW
moving.
flair kind of to him in this movie. And he's very young looking compared to
Yeah,
now. I feel like his acting obviously has gotten a lot better. Granted, we're
I
not
think he was,
seeing him
like,
in giant
30.
productions. Yeah. I mean, but I didn't mind his acting. I thought he showed his emotions pretty well, which
Mhm.
was pretty solid for the things that he had to do. And I even forgot that he was the killer for a while just because I didn't even think about that.
Well, the first time I watched it, I was shocked that he was the killer because I didn't think that, like, I'm so used to him being the hero, not a villain. So
Mm-hmm.
it's, yeah, that stuck with me. But that was, rewatching it, knowing the twist at the end is sometimes adds an extra fun element because you're
It
looking for the
does.
hints that you are given.
Did you have a favorite kill? Like mine was the jaw scene where he turns around and get the axe right through the jaw and he rips it off and it's so 3D coming at your face. It's cheesy and all of that kind of stuff. But I thought that was a fun kill. There was some clever things to it.
I don't know if I have a favorite kill. I mean, the one was pretty
Any
gross
that
with
you were
the
just like, hey, this is
shovel
clever, I guess. Oh, the
at
shovel through
the
the mouth.
beginning, yeah, and then the
Yeah, that
head
was fun.
just, like, slides off the shovel. That was gross.
It was funny because it was meant to be 3D again. So like the CGI coming
Yeah,
back, it was cheesy. That was a clever
very.
one. I forgot about that one. It's got up there with Kill of the Week, man.
And then Kerr Smith, I felt like he was like Dewey, like Deputy Dewey in this. Like, he was giving me those kind of vibes.
He was. I'll give you that. Let's go into some fun facts. Jamie King would actually star in another remake of an 80s slasher film, which was 2012 Silent Night, a remake of 1984 Silent Night Deadly Night. And I don't know that I've seen her in much ever since. I was kind of looking because the guy who played Axel, he's very different looking now. He's just gray. And I feel like I've seen him in a lot of stuff, but I guess I haven't really.
Axel, he's in Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, that's what Carrie was
Final
saying.
Destination, yeah. Yeah, he's one of the main characters in Dawson's Creek. He ends up, like, marrying Pacey's brother and raising, Michelle Williams' kid after she dies. Spoilers
Yeah.
in Dawson's Creek for everybody. You're welcome. So Jamie King, it was funny because Brielle put on White Chicks later that night, and she was in it.
Oh, that's right. She was in that movie too.
But I feel like she was in stuff back in the late. It's interesting too, like, seeing the cast for this because it was such, like, an early 2000s cast, but
It
it was, like,
was.
2009, so I felt like it was the end of, like, a lot of, like, I don't see Kerr Smith in anything anymore.
No, he's in a bunch of like NCIS and he's in stuff like that. I looked him up
Oh,
because
okay.
I saw how he
She
looks
was in
now.
Sin
I
City.
was hey, I read oh yeah, Jamie King was in Sin City as well. And then Jensen obviously is the boys. So some of this cast went on to do some pretty good things and our man there, Darwin, but I haven't really seen him in too much since.
Mm-mm.
Um, did you know this was once a Halloween Horror Nights house?
I didn't. I thought that
I
was
didn't
fun.
either. That is pretty interesting. The screenwriter Todd Farmer appears in the film playing the role of Frank the Trucker. Farmer's wife Melanie is thanked in the credits for allowing him to get naked. Blessed us all with that trucker white men. Ugh, gross man butts. Ew. Media Site Complex chose Betsy Rusine as number 13 of the 15 best topless moments in mainstream horror movies in 2020. Who's this reminds me. Okay. This makes me think of another scene. Axel's in there, obviously watching the evidence tape, but he was kind of watching. He wasn't like looking at the evidence. He was more so watching his old girlfriend get banged by some trucker when Sarah walks in. She's like, "What are you doing?" And then he flips it around really fast and gaslights. I saw this picture of you and Tom on your dresser. Axel,
Gets
be
busty
serious,
aggravated.
Axel. Think about it now. Come on. Be
Someone's
real.
projecting.
That's what I'm saying. He's such fucking gaslighter. You should let him die.
Mhm,
Anyways,
mhm.
anyways, yes, this we talked about it. It was the first R-rated film in the USA projected in real D technology, and the nude scene wasn't going to be nude. Irene was actually supposed to grab a sheet. It kept interfering with the scene, so she just chose to run about naked, as one
She and
does.
I
In
watched
those
or I
heels,
didn't
good
watch
on you,
interviews.
girl.
Yeah, I saw a couple of, like, interviews that she did, and she was very confident about doing the scene like that. And, like, I mean, that had to been really hard, like, she still fully acted it out and everything, but, like, when she's, like, holding that bed frame, I'm like, "That's not gonna stop him from stabbing you. What are you doing?" Like, I'm like, "Run, now's your opportunity." But yeah, it was an interesting scene. Did we mention it was funny? So one of the first people in the mines that dies, we hear him call for Jason, and Brielle's like Friday the 13th, and I'm like, oh. And then when I was doing the fun
Oh,
facts, the first two deaths were Jason and Michael, and those were intentional nods to Halloween and Friday.
oh, clever. I like that. Sneaky.
And we've
There's
actually talked about this fun fact when we did the supernatural episode, My Bloody Valentine.
We
So the
did.
14th episode of the 5th season of Supernatural, which stars Jensen Ackles, was titled My Bloody Valentine and released the following year in 2010. This is the episode in season 5 where Cass is eating the burgers, Sam is drinking blood, but Dean seems to be fine. And then we
Dean's
meet
chilling.
what is it? Fathom? Do we meet Fathom? Am I saying that right? Anyways, we meet one of the four horsemen. And he's
Yes, we do. And
hungry.
again, it's just so funny because I forgot Jensen was in this until we were kind of thinking about an episode to do for Valentine's Day because wasn't thinking for Valentine's Day. It wasn't the theme. Captain America: Winter Soldier is getting ready to come out,
Yeah,
so we were kind of thinking, what was our episode? And I was, hey, why not My Bloody Valentine? Because I remember it being a really crappy remake of a Valentine's Day. Again, we don't care about Valentine's Day. I don't care. I love rom-coms and all that
I
stuff.
don't
I
give
just don't care
two
about Valentine's Day
fucks
at
about
all.
Valentine's Day. I
I,
don't
I
either.
mean,
I honestly hate it.
Carrie's birthday is the week before, so I get her stuff then, and then we just, hey, here's some chocolate if you want. But we get the
We don't
kids
do
some
good
stuff
for
because they're big
Valentine's
on
Day.
it.
We don't
Yeah,
really do anything, but honestly, the one good thing about liking breweries is breweries tend to not be busy on Valentine's. So, like, if you wanted to go out to eat and have a good beer on
yeah.
Valentine's Day and not have to deal with crowds, go to a brewery.
I don't understand why. I guess I'm gonna hop on the soapbox. Why we feel the need to pick one day to show our love for our significant others. I don't know,
Dude, choose your anniversary. Like, I don't know. It's so stupid. And I think it pisses me off too because you start seeing Valentine's stuff before Christmas. And I'm like,
oh my
why?
god, Christmas is not even cold, and we got Valentine's stuff out there, and I'm
And
just.
does anybody like Valentine's that much to the point that they're like
I've never met
buying
somebody whose
stuff in
favorite holiday is
December?
Valentine's Day. I need this stuff. We know we just kind of get cute. I'm thinking of you, sure. And the candy's good. I had red velvet Reese's, pretty good. Carrie likes candy hearts. That's her favorite candy. But other than that, come on, man, be so real right now. I don't know. That's our anti-Valentine's Day statement. Okay, kill Valentine's Day. Dang it, with a pickaxe to Cupid's stupid little head. That's how I feel about it.
Cupid, stupid Cupid, stop picking on
Stupid
me.
Cupid's little head. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any other thoughts in this movie. It's not one I could go another 10 years and not need to watch it ever again. But
10 years. Yeah, I don't think I need to watch it ever again.
it
Maybe I'll
wasn't
watch the Devour
amazing.
movie with Jensen Ackles. That's rated even lower.
What movie is it?
Devour.
Wow,
It
what's
came
that
up
one?
like as like a recommendation if you
Did it?
right,
Okay.
because Jensen's in it and it's a horror movie, and I think his dad actually plays his real dad
Oh,
in it.
I feel like we should, for research purposes, do that one night too. Yeah, I don't know
Dude,
why not.
he's also in that like 10-inch hero movie or something, and I've never been
An
able to bring
hero. Okay,
myself
calm
to
down.
watch it. I think that's
All
what it's
right,
called.
calm down. 10
I
inch
think
hero. Okay.
it's a movie he met his wife on. I think it's a
I no
sandwich
wonder
shop.
he's called the 10-inch hero. No wonder he met his wife. She locked it down as soon as possible.
Jesus. But
Speaking
I've
of
never
wives,
I don't like how they portray him in it with it's the when you see him with the mohawk and the green hair and, like, the
I
piercings
don't
and
remember
stuff.
this at all. Weird.
I've never seen it, but
Okay. Well,
maybe
speaking of
someday.
wives, Genevieve Padlecki, by the way, is going to be at Megacon this weekend. So,
Woohoo.
yay. That's what I have. Yeah, I don't have anything else with this film. That was My Bloody Valentine from the year 2009. We will be back next week. We are going to gear you up for Captain America Winter Soldier and Captain America Winter Soldier. Come on, Matt. Captain America Brave New World. My God. We
Isn't it New
finally
World Order?
New World.
Is it Brave New World?
I thought it was Brave New World.
It
To be honest,
probably
it was
is.
Serpent Society. It was Brave New World, New World. Listen, Captain America with our boy Anthony Mackie is out.
Brave New World.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. It's
Why
coming
did I
out
think it was New World Order? Did I just
because I
make
think
that
that
up?
was a title that they had gone with before changing again. That's probably why.
Oh.
It went through a couple title changes as Marvel does now, but yes, we'll be back. We're going to dive into Sam Wilson's Captain America, give you some background on Red Hulk, and get you ready for that movie to come out because it's our first
I'm
MCU
excited.
release since
Since
Deadpool and Wolverine in the theaters.
other than
We obviously had
Agatha, yeah.
Agatha, yes, but this is like we're back. MCU is back. This is the first movie in a few movies that are coming out for the MCU this year. I'm really excited for this movie. Cannot wait for Captain America. Really high in this movie, so I hope it pays off. Then also make sure you're paying attention to our social media accounts. We will probably go live from our panels. We'll probably go live and talk some stuff from the Comic-Con, Megacon this weekend. We're going to be out and around. If you're in the Orlando area, I know we're going to hopefully be seeing Scott. We might get to hang out with Stephanie Phillips and crew. And make sure you come say hi to us, man. We'll be there. Come to our panels. And
So
if you don't know what this is, email us, hopsgeeknews@gmail.com. But what do you have?
So the studio changed the title from New World Order to Brave New World after
Ooh.
feedback that the phrase New World Order had been co-opted in the real world in a way that made people uncomfortable. Sometimes
Yeah,
fiction and
when
nonfiction
Hulk
line up
Hogan, Kevin Nash,
posted.
and all of
Alright, that
them
was
took
according to
over, and they were the NWO Wolfpack. Howoo!
so there you go. So I
There
didn't
you
make that
go.
up in my head. I just
No,
think
you
Brave New
didn't.
World, I think of the book.
Ah, it's a brave whole new world. Anyways, that's what I have. Hopsgeek News everywhere in podcasts, social media, hopsgeeknews@gmail.com to drop us a line if there's anything you want to add. And we will see you hopefully at Megacon, and we will see you
Yes.
next week. Can't wait
Yes.
to go to Florida. Can't wait to be at we will be at Universal Friday night for the
Woo!
Megacon after hours. Come say hi. I'm going to be face deep in butterbeers on
Oh,
Hagrid's
I was
ride.
like, if I thought you were gonna say in person. I was like, "Whoa."
That too. Play my
We're
cards right.
see us in the beer garden. Maybe we'll leave stickers
Yes,
on the table
we
again.
will be there. Can't wait to see you. I'm so excited. Anyways, cheers.